Alright, so we've talked about numbers, and you should remember your numbers 0 through 100. And one of the reasons that we need those is especially when we're talking about money and currency, because currency, as far as cents go, they go from 0 to 100 cents, right? So when you're talking about prices in France, really, really simple. There's just one thing that you really kind of have to remember, and that is that where, like we would say, I have $2.34, and that's how we would write it, right? Well, the French would say they do theirs a little differently. First off, you're going to notice the French don't use dollars, they use euros, and this is the sign for euro, okay? The other thing that you're noticing is that where we use a decimal, they use a comma, all right? That's really the only difference, because we didn't say I have $2.34. We said I have $2.34, okay? And they do the same thing here, €2.34. So if I said j'ai 12,34 €. This says I have €2.34. And this is how you would write it. All right. So just a very simple, very easy way to go about. Just remember, you change your decimal to a comma, and your currency symbol goes after it. And you say it exactly the way that we would say it in French. In English, I have $2.34. I have €2.34. Really, really simple. When you are talking about a check, for instance, and I wanted to say, how much is that? Like, how much does it, what does that come to? The way that you say that is, ça fait combien? And literally, this means, I'm sorry, it makes how much? And so obviously the answer would be, it makes whatever. So, ça fait €6.55. Comes out to $6.55, right? It makes $6.55, right? So ça fait combien is how you say ask how much, and then ça fait whatever it is. That's where your total would come in. All right. Some other helpful vocabulary on here as well. Allons-y. Allons-y means let's go. Allons-y. Actually, we're going to put this up here. Allons-y. Let's go there. Let's go there. So if I said, tu vas au café, you are going to the cafe? Oui. Allons-y. Yes, let's go there. Right? And then, of course, when the waiter gets there, he would ask you, what you would like, and then you could say, je voudrais, whatever. So I think, let me look really quickly and make sure I've given you everything that you need for your stuff. And it looks like yes. No. Okay. One last glance back at your definite and indefinite articles. All right. So if you remember, we have le, la, and les. And this is how you say the, right? And then you have un, une, and des. And this is how you say a, and, or some. Le and la are masculine. I'm sorry. Le and un are masculine. La and une are feminine. Les and des are plural. Okay? So, la glace. All right? The ice cream. or une glace, an ice cream, feminine, right? But what if I was talking about it? What if I was trying to say the ice cream, it is vanilla, or it is good, right? Or it cost 3 euros, all right? Well, the way that you would say it is actually based on the gender of whatever you're talking about. You remember I said there is no it in French because everything has gender. So, when I'm talking about something masculine, just like when I was talking about time, I couldn't say it is 12 o'clock. I had to say he is 12 o'clock because time was masculine. It's the same thing here. If I want to talk about it, I have to know the gender of it. So if the it that I'm talking about is masculine, then I would use the subject pronoun for he, which would be il. So, il coûte 12 euros. Le hot dog, il coûte 10 euros. The hot dog, it costs 10 euros. Now, if you're paying 10 bucks for a hot dog, wow. But the point is that you would actually use il to say it because hot dog is masculine. So, un hot dog, il coûte 10 euros. A hot dog, it costs 10 euros. Same thing with something that would be feminine. The ice cream, la glace, it cost, elle coûte. Alright? And then the waters, they cost. Well, in this case, it would be ils or elles, depending on the gender of whatever it is that you were talking about. So these can all be used interchangeably. Just depends on what you're trying to say. If you're trying to say the dog, le chien, a dog, un chien, it, or he, or she, technically in this case, because the dog is always masculine, il. Alright? If I wanted to say the flower, okay? Flower actually doesn't end in E, but it is feminine. So if I had the word flower, and I wanted to say the flower is red. La fleur est rouge. Okay? If I wanted to say a flower is red, une fleur est rouge. If I wanted to say it is red, because the flower is feminine, I would use elle. And it looks like she is red. And technically it is she because the flower is feminine. Okay? Elle est rouge. If I wanted to say the fries are hot, or well, we won't use that one. The fries are good. All right? Frites. I wouldn't say the fries are good. You don't need to know this yet, but this is the way that it would be. So, if it was feminine, which maybe it would be bon, because it's plural. Don't worry about any of this. I'm just showing you the words that I'm saying. So, the fries, les frites, are good. Les frites, c'est bon. Some fries are good. Not all of them, only the seasoned ones, right? Des frites sont bons. And then the fries, they are good. Elles sont bons, or ils sont bons, if they were masculine or feminine. Okay? So, you can use these interchangeably. These are your subject pronouns, and they can also stand for it. All right? So if I wanted to say they cost 5 euros, ils coûtent 5 euros. Now, coûter is an ER verb. I think it has a house over it. And ER, conjugated for ils, is ENT. They cost 5 euros. Alright? Bonne chance!